Caleb about how the experience of playing for the national team, how that helps when you come back and play for Atlanta United. How does it work for you when you were out there with Trinidad and Tobago come back?
Yeah, obviously it helps a great amount. When you're away in the national level, you're playing against guys who are playing in different spaces. Some better, some that are playing in Champions League every week, some that are playing in Europa League, stuff like that, playing in the top league. So it requires a different level of speed and whatnot. And when you come back and play with the guys here and play in this league, you can take what you learn from there, trying to apply it, whether it's playing faster or having to play smarter.
Was there anything in particular from this recent match against Canada that you came back and said, I want to be better at this for Atlanta United?
Yeah, I mean, there are quite a few things.
Okay.
For one, talking with some of the staff there, would have liked to just pick up a couple more recoveries in the run of play.
Okay.
I know it was a difficult one, obviously. We defended quite a bit, but still trying to make an impact any way possible. And also, too, I think one thing that's been on my mind for a lot is just production in the final third, whether it be goals or assists. That's a big thing that I want to try and make this season. And I think that's one I've been talking with the staff here that I'm working on after training and whatnot to try and increase that production in that area.
And last one for me, on Sunday, you came in with a 1-0 lead to protect. I'm curious, does that give you more confidence when the coach is bringing you in? I know y'all scored like within a second of you coming on the field. I'm going to give you credit for that in the story.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Does that give you more confidence?
Yeah, definitely. I think 1-0 leads, 2-0 leads, those are the worst ones to come into. You hear your name and you're happy and you're like, oh crap, I gotta go defend a 1-0 lead for 30 minutes. But no, I think we have a great group of guys that made it easy for me to come into the game. And I think the biggest thing is just everybody knowing what their role is in the team, so that when I'm able to come into a game, the coach is trusting me and my teammates trusting me as well to know that when I come in, I'm going to do the best that I can to help secure the 3 points and do the best I can to try and fix them in the league.
What's it been like for you having new defenders back there behind you, a new midfield core essentially? What's it been like in terms of your kind of growth process?
Oh, it's been good. Derek's been a pain, but for the most part, everybody's been fun to play with. When the second part that came in, the relationship with us in the midfield, Dax as well, we got along very well. And all jokes aside, Derek's been somebody who's been vocal in the back, which helps guys like me in front of them and Stian as well. We're always talking with each other, and we're always trying to improve. And in training, you're playing with a different set of midfielders, different set of defenders, so you get to know what everybody's capable of, so that when the game comes in the weekend, everybody's kind of just flowing.
And so you have a new group of midfielders. You're going up to New York, where it's going to be a much smaller pitch. What is that like? What is that challenge like? Just playing in such tight spaces.
Biggest thing for us, it's been talked about a lot since the beginning of the season, is just adapting. And we're a team that likes to put the ball down and move it around and be quick from back to front. And it may change the way that we have to play at this side of the pitch, and we're ready for that. But at the end of the day, we're going to try and do what we work on during the week since the start of the season. And at the end of the day, our goal is to get 3 points, and not every 3 points we're going to get this season is going to be pretty. Not all of them are going to be the way we want it to be. But at the end of the day, I think just getting the results that we want is the biggest focus.
What's the hardest thing when you come into games like Sunday and it's 1-0 and it's kind of stretched, a little frantic at times? What's the hardest thing when you enter the game to get settled?
I think you joked about earlier, you came in for in a second. That's I'll take the credit for that one, I guess. But at the same time too, you want to make sure that you catch up to speed as quickly as possible, because obviously those guys have been playing for 60 minutes in that last case, and the level of the game is at a certain speed already, and you want to try and pick up as quickly as possible, and hopefully as soon as you get into the game, because you don't want to make mistakes trying to catch up to the level of speed. You want to be up to speed already, so that when you're into the game, when you're playing, everything is kind of just natural for you.
Do you feel kind of like settled and into the flow when you get stuck into a tackle, or is it more about passes and developing a rhythm?
Yeah, for me, it's trying to connect the first pass. I think for me, look back to the last game, a couple uncharacteristic mistakes for me in the build. One that I'm not going to harp on too much, but at the same time too, you don't want it to happen. But I think as it started to go on, I tried to get into the game a little bit more with connecting those passes, and from then, just got a little bit more comfortable into the game because once I'm able to be good on the ball, I think for me as a player individually, it helps me to harp better on the other areas of the game.
What does a win like Sunday 3-0 do to a team's, I guess, confidence now when you go on the road, where you guys haven't, in 2 games, haven't been able to get a point yet, but because of how well you just played a few days ago, can that carry over, especially on the road?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest focuses we have is trying to be better on the road. We do well at home, but we want to try and take that rhythm and the way we play onto the road because that 3-0 win, we knew that in that game it wasn't our best of performances, but yet we were still able to get 3 points and get a clean sheet. And I think while not focusing on that game too much because it's in the past, but just trying to take those same principles that we use in that game onto the road of the work rate, the fighting for each other, and just trying to be ruthless in front of the goal. If we take that on the road, like we've been trying to do, then we'll be okay.
5 matches in, what does it tell you about potential for this team? The fact that the different styles that you face and the way that you won, it's been fairly different from week to week.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is when we're on, and I think one of the major takeaways you got to take away from it is how we do on the road because I think last year we aimed for a top 4 position, we didn't get it, and looking back on it, I'm sure there are different reasons behind it, but for me, the biggest takeaway was performances on the road, and I think we want to be a team that is able to win home and away. I think that's the biggest takeaway from us. And 5 games in, we still know that we have another level that we need to get to, maybe another 2 or 3, but to still get the results that we've been looking for with the wins, I think it's a big takeaway for us.
You said everybody knows their role on the team. What's your role? How would you describe it?
I think for me, trying to be good on the ball, helping bring our creative players into the game, whether it's our wingers or 10s or 9s, getting the ball from the back line, breaking lines, and like I said, I want to add goals and assists to that as well. But I think that will come with time. But also too, on the defensive side of the ball, just being energetic, helping the press, winning the ball back as quickly as possible, and from there just trying to dictate the flow of the game so that we're always in control of what's going on the pitch. So I believe that's my role.
All right.
If you ask Coach, I'll be the